Hello, friends, ladies, and gentlemen. We're out here yet again for another little adventure. This is just a short one to a pretty cool place. I feel like not many people know about. It's like the trail is more like a road, the path more traveled. And this trail, this path, this road leads to a bog, I think is the right word, the right term, like a marsh, a bog, where I don't know if we'll see any wildlife or not, because we are still not even in spring yet. We're close, but alas, we're not there yet. But I think there's some more information down there on some boards around it. There's like a little boardwalk with an outlook thing you can stand on. So we're gonna go out there. There's another trail here called Picnic Area Trail, which I've never gone down. I can only assume there's a picnic area. It appears there's a tree blocking our path that has not been cleared yet, which is surprising. There's a lot of trees cut and cleared from a lot of the smaller trails that we've been on so far. And this one being more heavily trafficked, it appears, with the shale walkway. You'd think this one would be cleared, unless it's just fallen. It could be very fresh. I don't know, but here we are. We must cross the tree. Easy enough. We leave it behind us. We will see you soon, Mr. Fallen Tree. Oh, there's another one fallen. What am I looking at? It looks like there's a tree that fell there, and that tree's uprooted there. So it's like there was two trees that one just like busted. Doesn't look like that one was uprooted. It just looks like it broke. Huh. A pretty big tree to just be breaking. Meanwhile, there's this very dead tree right above us, hanging on to what appears to be another dying tree. Y'all know what it's going to be like down here at this time of year. I usually just come down here whenever it's nicer, in summer and stuff, whenever there's plants growing. Because there is like carnivorous plants down here, like the ones that eat the bugs and stuff, that trap them in there and eat them. You can see some of those down here most of the time. But again, I don't know if they're going to be, I don't know if they're just kind of there year round. I don't know how they work. So we'll see. We'll see what we can learn, see what we can come across, see what all we can explore. So I'll see you whenever we get to the boardwalk. Just a quick interjection here. We have this clearing, this pathway that we've seen on Wolf Rocks Trail. So Wolf Rocks Trail is actually that way. If we hopped into this mud pit and walked up that way, we'd come across Wolf Rocks Trail that we were on the other day. And I've since learned that this clearing is in fact from a pipeline. So we know that now. Constantly learning. And right away we are greeted with an informative sign here that I will read to you. It says, "Stay on the boardwalk!" Explanation point, which is right over here, the boardwalk. You are entering Spruce Flats Bog, a unique high elevation wetland. This area contains fragile plants that can be damaged if trampled. Please help protect these plants by staying on the designated trails and boardwalk, which is exactly what we're doing. We are staying on the designated trails, and we will not venture off the boardwalk. So let's see what lies at the other end. As you can see, it's become very wet, very marshy, very boggy. The Spruce Flats Bog. Lots to see, lots to explore. And as I said, it is still technically wintertime. At least I think. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty bad at the season stuff. But like here we go. Here's some of those carnivorous plants down here. They look pretty dead, I'll be honest. But that's them. There's the opening that the little bugs would crawl in. Yeah, they're definitely dead. They're at least not doing very well at the moment. There's lots of them all through here. We'll have to come back whenever it's nicer, and I know they're alive, they're doing well. I found lots of frog eggs. Here's a large patch of frog eggs right here. You can see those are all. It's a big bounty of frog eggs. It looks like they're fairly new. Some are newer than, some are older than others. There's some that are pretty close to being developed into a tadpole, and then there's some that are not. Hopefully they all make it and become healthy baby frogs, little tadpoles swimming around, filling this marsh with life. Surprised I haven't seen a frog. I guess they're all probably hiding. I don't know exactly what a frog does at this time of year. What do they do? You have to wonder, don't you? Maybe we'll look it up. Maybe we'll see what we have. We do have some information here on these placards. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. First, I'll give you a good panoramic view of what we have going on in front of me. We'll do that now. So we'll start with this first one, labeled Surviving the Bog. Here it talks about the plants. It says that most plants get nutrients like nitrogen from organic material decomposing in the soil. However, decomposition in the bog is so slow that plants here have to find other ways to get nitrogen, such as all these plants over here. Which, if I'm not mistaken, those red plants down there amongst the bog, those are pitcher plants. Yes, right here. Pitcher plants use nectar to lure insects inside their tube-shaped leaves, where downward-pointing hairs prevent escape from a deadly cocktail of rainwater and digestive juices. So that's what they look like when they're healthy. Not this red crap that you see all around, they're everywhere. This place is filled with them. They're thriving. Yes, Pennsylvania is home to 3 insect-eating plants, and you'll find 2 of them here. Pitcher plants and sundew live in this bog, while bladderwort is common in central and eastern Pennsylvania. Well, I guess that's what we got to do at some point this summer. We got to go find some bladderwort. We will experience the pitcher plants and the sundew, but not the bladderwort. What else we got? Sundew's spoon-shaped leaves have tentacles, actually sticky hairs, tipped with drops of glue that glitter like dew. Insects fly in for dew and get stuck on hairs, which wrap around the insects and hold them tight during digestion. I don't see any of those. Those look a little more fragile. I do remember seeing them whenever it's nicer out in the summertime, in the late spring. So like I said, we'll have to come back and we'll find both of these plants out here. Here we have another section on this that's called Lost at Sea. It says that the Atlantic white cedar, which is around here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure which one it would be. Let me look at my phone. And see if I can figure out which one would be the Atlantic white cedar. I'm going to be completely honest, I could be wrong, but it looks like a lot of them are dead. I see, like, back here in the woods, it looks like you can see them, they're a lot lighter. They kind of look like the pictures I've seen. The picture on this plaque is hard to tell. There's some other ones kind of surrounding, a little bit farther away, that look like they could be it. But I could be wrong. I mean, it could be any of these trees. I'm not very knowledgeable about trees. Maybe that's something we'll try to learn more about this year in our travels. Trees. Learn about trees. Oh, there's a hawk. I don't know if you can see him flying around very well. It's kind of hard with this wide-angle lens. But alas, I tried to do my best. I should carry my other lens with me, so that way I can I can zoom in a little better whenever I need to. I mean, that wouldn't have worked then anyway, because it was flying. It would have been gone by the time I got the new lens on. Oh well, it's fine. Anyway, these white cedar white cedar trees grow mainly in low-lying areas near the Atlantic Ocean. This population here in the Spruce Flats bog. The Spruce Flats spog, perhaps. Sog. No, it'd be sog. I have absolutely no idea what I'm saying. The Spruce Flats bog. Here we are. The white cedar, the Atlantic white cedar, grows in low-lying areas near the Atlantic Ocean. This population here at the bog is the farthest from the coast. Anywhere. This one is the farthest. The acidic soil of the bog is natural habitat for the species, which represent the only remaining population of its kind in Pennsylvania. So assuming all of them around here aren't dead, this is the only place you can find Atlantic white cedar in Pennsylvania, I guess. That's pretty cool. Something you probably didn't know. You come up here, you see a tree you can't find anywhere else in Pennsylvania. In the depths of Laurel Mountain. Like I said, lots to explore, lots to learn. This next one here just kind of talks about how it became a bog, from forest to bog and back. So there was logging here, and I guess back around the 1900s, back then loggers called all short-needled conifers spruce. So that's how this got to be known as Spruce Flats Bog. And then without trees to use the water that the swampy land was creating in this depression on top of Laurel Hill, it became a bog. So here we are. And then here it says, the disappearing bog. Bogs feature spongy peat, acidic water, and thick carpet of sphagnum moss. And bogs get most of their water from rain and snow. As bigger plants and trees move in from the edges ever so slowly, the bog fills in. So it says that someday this bog will not exist. This bog will be a complete forest again. It'll be filled in with trees. It won't be as boggy. These carnivorous plants that live here and call this home will be gone. Who knows how long that takes? I mean, it says, this happened around the 1900s. They cut down the trees. Around 1900, they cut down the trees. And it became a bog. Now here we are. So if that was that long ago, I'm sure it was much bigger then, I guess, with that information, knowing that. But it is filling in, slowly, ever so slowly. And it says here, which is pretty interesting, a windswept skyline. So up here we're around 2,720 feet up here at Spruce Flats Bog. And it says it's a bog that's at such a rare high elevation that strong winds sweep in from the west to the east, which, if I'm not mistaken, that way would be east. This way, that way would be east. So this way would be west. And it says that the wind sweeping through from here, you can tell just looking at it now that I know this information. You can tell that the wind coming from west to east deforms and kills branches on the trees on the windward side, creating a flag-like shape that is known as Krummholz form, which is German for crooked wood. So if you actually look, you can see how the trees, in the bog, are leaned that way. And up here you can see the flag-like resemblance in the tops of the trees, and how they are rather bare on the one side, with the wind blowing. So there's something you might not have known. Crooked trees. Flag trees. And then here, for our last plaque, we have bog life. A good life, it says. So it says animals like black bears, chipmunks, many species like life in the bog because they're attracted to the open space, the water, the food, and the shelter. Animals munch on berries, young plants, and other animals. Sphagnum moss makes an excellent nest for eggs of the four-toed salamander. And it says you'll have the best chance of spotting wildlife in the morning or in the evening. We're here in the evening. It is a lot colder, though, at this point. So perhaps we'll see some wildlife. A Bigfoot coming into the bog for a drink of water and a snack of salamanders and frog eggs. I'll keep my eyes peeled. He could be hiding behind any tree looking at us right now. But yeah, here's the four-toed salamander. We have a raven. Some frogs. There's a frog. Here's some dragonflies and damselflies. That would be, obviously, the dragonfly. That would be the damselfly. So, salamanders breathe through their skin instead of through gills. That would be sensitive to an acidic environment. So that's why they're well versed for the bog life. There's lots of other birds that call the bog home, such as the winter wren, the dark-eyed junco, the Canada warbler, the raven, of course, as pictured on the plaque, the hermit thrush. They're all here amongst the bog. Our feathered friends, flapping about in the crooked trees, making nests surrounding the bog that is closing in on itself ever so slowly. Got multiple different kinds of frogs here. Spring peepers, red-spotted newts. That is not a frog, that is a newt. Oh, amphibians, there we go. Spring peepers and red-spotted newts. And the wood frog, which was pictured here. So yes, I'd say that about concludes our stay here at Spruce Flats Bog. And I should work my way back to the car. It was lovely seeing you, Bog, and all of our friends that live amongst it. Until next time, we will see you again. So we're here at the map, at the start of all these trails back here. Now we can take a look-see at what we've accomplished so far. So we're here now at this number 6. So we've done the bog trail, which is just that short guy. That's what we did today. And then we got the Wolf Rocks Trail, which is right here. Comes up here, and we of course went this way up to Wolf Rocks, and then back down this way to the parking lot. We've gone on Beams Rocks Trail, which is right there. We have gone on Rocky Gap Trail, which was, we cut in from here, went down Black Bear Trail, and up Rocky Gap Trail, and back down to the parking lot. Then, of course, we did the trail loop up here. We went like this way, and up through here, somewhere. We were up in here. But if I'm not mistaken, that is where we have gone so far. If we can accomplish all of the trails up here on Laurel Mountain, that would be amazing. So let's head back to the car, which is of course behind us. Oh, not that car. That car is mine. So let's head back to the car. And I'll see you guys back at home. So, hi guys, what's up? We went on our hikes today, and we had a good time. We saw some cool stuff. I made 3 videos today, and I forgot to record the outro here at home. I just started working on videos, and that was it. My bad. So that's what I'm recording this on my computer right now, actually. That's why the mic is here. I'm probably just going to use this ending for all 3 videos. Probably just be the same. If you're wondering what is happening, I feel like I just saw this. That is why, because I messed up and made it way harder than it had to be. So, thanks for coming along. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the videos. So yeah, why don't you like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next adventures.